Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, never go past 4 hours anyway, but only got 2 this time. We're all good, but boys, ain't nothing been happening, Q-wise.
Right on. So what's on your mind, Sid?
Is there anything been happening Q-wise? No, I've not got that board up yet.
Not since earlier. Okay, so we got Syria getting set up right now.
I'm wondering, what do we got? What's the deal with all of that? I'm not solid on that one yet.
How do you mean? We don't know who did the. Allegedly, Israel launched the missile attack, but that's about all that we know. Other than, like, who was it, Al Qaeda or Assad actually? Assad doing a chemical attack on his own people.
Right. So they said that basically Assad had done this chemical attack, right? And then Israel had basically attacked right on top of it. But first they were saying it was the United States. And so now basically Israel blew up right on top of this, the same area, targeted the same area. Why would Israel target the same area?
Yeah, exactly. It's to blow up the evidence.
So we don't have confirmation on that yet, right?
100% we don't.
So where are we at right now in that part of the world? What do we know what's going on right, like as of like up to date right now?
Can you get conspiracy fact dot boom?
Let me try. Nope, they don't have a boom extension yet. I could probably do conspiracyfactboom.com. So we could do conspiracy fact report .us .live.
What's up?
I was like,
Yeah, we can do conspiracy fact .live.
.lie?
Live.
Live?
Yes, LIVE.
Oh, wow.
Look in the chat room.
Oh, boom. Life
Yeah,
or live? Life?
I believe we can do live too, or live.
Let's do life. And can we help? Let's just work on the storyboard for the next one, which is going to be. Dang, let me see.
I think we should do one on. It's in the news right now, and we need to get the true story about it out. You know.
Let's do a short one about Iran being next, and just the fact that Syria is not Trump's fault. You know that it's like the deep state trying to lure us into war. What time do you think we ended the recording of? Oh wait, he already sectioned it, huh? I thought Q was going to be losing it today.
I copied all over the Epstein pictures, so you can delete them.
The pictures of the storyboard?
I already cut it off. The Epstein one, I already cut it off, and it's on. And I already started another one.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You said you already got the pictures for Epstein Island out of storyboard?
Yes, I did. So you can delete what's left.
Sweet.
So why are the Q drops implying today? Wait a second.
What's that?
Are those flight paths I'm seeing on a... So what happened today? So what happened today?
A bit. Bolton arrested his first person. It came out that the whole thing that the FBI raided Cohen's office about was about some receipts that they're trying to find on two women.
So what happened? Oh, but it's like they found what on what? Okay. I was reading something right as you were talking.
They found out that they were trying to find, the FBI was looking for receipts of basically an affair with these two women, and that was what they raided Cohen's office for.
Trump's affairs?
What's that?
Trump's affairs?
Yeah, Trump's affairs.
Yes.
The thing is that even if that was a reality, compared to the crimes to half of these people who do, that's minimal. It's a lose-lose for them, even if their claims are... What?
It's not at all related to the Russia investigation, so what the hell are they even doing? Looking for those receipts.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's like, what are you doing? It's even if Trump is not the perfect being we think or the near perfect being we think he is, and there are many people that are benevolent that have done that more times than some of us can count, probably.
I mean, JFK was a whore.
Exactly. You have a benevolent president that... Yeah, exactly.
Besides all that, it's unconstitutional anyways, and whatever happened to client attorney privilege?
Absolutely.
Whatever happened to getting your rocks off without being bothered?
Yeah, come in.
They can never use that as evidence of anything because of attorney-client privileges.
That doesn't.
Well, it was approved. The warrant was approved by a federal magistrate, according to one of these articles I posted.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was recommended to. It was recommended to Southern New York's Attorney General to submit to the FBI for a raid on the on Cohen's offices and whatnot.
Yeah, who's that magistrate and what they're connected to?
They're stupid,
Yeah.
And then there is career suicidal.
They figure if they get Trump out of office, it's not going to matter. They'll be the hero.
Aren't they in for what? For a rude awakening?
Do they really think that would get him out of office, though? Like, that's chicken scratch, man.
If they can pull it off, they'll use it to get him out of office, because if they can catch him in line, like at this point, that'll be something that they can subpoena him on. And if he's not accurate about it or whatever, because they got Bill Clinton really on a technicality. That's the only reason why they impeached him. They can just look at certain things. Did you say this or did you not say this correctly? Boom, impeachment.
Which is why they're currently trying to find every single scrap they can. However, there's a point in which that people can forget stuff.
He would be better off the whole time just saying he forgot, doesn't remember.
But the more they try, the more they expose themselves.
Everybody's guilty of something.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're trying to use that as fuel, even though that they could probably win massive brownie points with the American public by exposing their supposed masters or people they're trying to work with.
See, really all they have to do at this particular point in junction is they have to get enough to show that, or give the possible doubt that Trump's trying to totally get away with something and it's injustice. If they can do that, then they can be justified in trying to start a physical war and do an all-out coup. Remember, Department of Homeland Security under Obama and under Janet Reno bought all of those guns and ammunition and those souped-up vehicles for a prolonged war.
Oh dear. From the looks from their track record, they are really failing hard.
Yeah, they just need to put the perception that they're justified in starting a war.
But how long can that last before they are just discredited?
They control the narrative. That's what the whole thing about kicking or blocking conservatives from talking and everything else is about.
Still, every time then they try and propose something, it's like it just collapses in on itself. I am talking about them not being I'm talking about them being so themselves that it causes issues for them. Does that make any sense?
Not totally, but
I guess that there's a point. I guess thinking that humans can only tolerate a certain level of bullshit. Liberals might have an insanely high level, but eventually it has to collapse in on itself.
You know what your problem is, Waterpick?
What?
Too smart for most of the population.
What? Too smart?
You're thinking insanely too smart for most of the population. Remember, the average IQ is around about 98. Remember, borderline retarded is an IQ of 90.
What?
What?
Yep. To be politically correct, they call it dim-witted.
Dim-witted, huh?
Oh, you win, did it?
Moron used to be a legitimate medical term.
But you might hurt somebody's feelings.
Bro, stop hurting my feelings, bro. I'm sensitive.
No, but it's true what Waterpick was saying. The bullshit, sooner or later, is going to collapse on itself.
I'm not talking about people being intelligent or not. Those that are intelligent had their bullshit detectors sent off a while ago. What I'm saying is we're talking about a critical mass of bullshit so massive that even the quote-unquote dim-witted start smelling it.
They start smelling the shit.
Yeah. We're not just
talking... Are we talking a shitstorm here?
Yeah.
Not a Q-storm?
It's why the cabal would burn if the truth would get out to the point that even the most intelligent of the population realize what's going on.
When the shit gets queued up?
Yeah, think about it. We're pissed, and we're able to remain calm enough. Imagine what happened if you have a gum-toting, highly emotional
dimwit
population that has realized that there is a group of people that's been controlling them for over a century plus, with the organizations they are descended from going extending back thousands of years. Can you imagine what would happen once that concept is so prevalent that even the most densest of individuals realize it?
Good night, bro. Good night, not sure.
Good night.
Hey, bro.
You guys see this Robert Mueller text? It says, nobody has more integrity than me, in parentheses, with an exception to Stormy Daniels. Wow.
What?
Robert Mueller's tweet.
So what is the deal with Stormy Daniels again? I'm paying. Like I said, I'm the derp with the popcorn, not one of the researchers.
I'll make it.
Good night, Apache.
Good night.
Stormy Daniels. The calm before the storm. Then we get Stormy Daniels. Isn't that funny?
Where was his integrity on 9/11?
Yeah, we should I'm blast his Twitter. Where was that at 9/11? But basically, Stormy Daniels is their last play, bro. That's the only card they have. They're looking for a fucking receipt from her. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, you know, it'd be really fun, Joe. What if we just start reading off Q posts from the beginning, bro, and we go like maybe 50, 100?
Oh boy.
What if we just start knocking them out, bro, in little segments?
I need something to keep myself occupied. Go ahead.
That's pretty easy. I mean, we know especially the Hurley Q by heart almost.
Waterpick, you got some computer skills?
I'm a computer scientist graduate. That implies some level of computer skill, or at least the ability to learn computer skills. I'm lazy, not uneducated in this regard. And I'm intelligent enough and discerning enough to prevent any indoctrination bullshit from my brain. So, what's up?
All right. I might in service your help to get me done with some of this stuff.
Crap.
Boom! Volunteered.
Voluntold.
I plead saying that this is the same type of consent that the Federal Reserve uses, and the IRS uses for getting your taxes and money.
That's voluntold.
My point still stands in this context.
You're just being voluntold. That's volun robbed. You're not getting robbed here.
I might help out. What's the issue?
What's up?
What's the issue? Let me at least hear it first. What's the exact issue? What do you need help with? Hello? Hello? What? Hello?
I don't know if William's right there right now.
They just started disappeared for the sec. If he's trying to quote unquote voluntold my me to help out, I need to know what he needs help with before whether or not I accept or reject. This has happened a lot. I've only had like max 2 or 3 days worth of observation so far.
That you always come in at nighttime. But we could use a lot of help here, man. Doing whatever you're good at.
I'm good at Java programming, so I could create a jar that's a program that's a multi-platform.
Sounds really cool. But we don't want you to go extreme neither, Just keep it simple, like, stuff that we could do just to spread the word and, try to get more people to come to the server and stuff like that.
Like what exactly?
Get more people involved in the whole queue search and, in the whole queue process, trying to wake up more people.
So you're basically doing a readout of all the queue posts so far, or trying to get an overall readout.
Yeah, that video will be dope. But you know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about actually taking the queue posts and recording them through the computer like robot voice and just have them there so we could play them at any time.
I get it. So having it pre-recorded for posterity's sake.
Yeah, so that way, whenever anybody wants, they could just play the post, and it'll be much easier.
Program or website that reads it out to you.
Well, you can get it to read on the fly. You don't need to pre-record it.
I should mention that I do not know of a Java library that lets me hook into text-to-speech stuff off the bat.
I have a .NET library that does it.
I am not a C# user.
Good thing I am.
Well, what I was thinking about doing for now is just taking making a whole room for queue posts and just recording them and just leaving them there. So whenever we need them to use them, we could just have them there and play them whenever, in order though, from beginning to the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. So how about we have it? That's right. You can upload voice files directly to Discord, or we can host it as well.
We should make a bot.
Yeah, we could program a bot. That would be crazy.
You know how some people don't like electronic voices? How about we have people volunteer to read them out? But very professionally, or at least not cute and then notion of, you know what I mean? Breathe, focus, read it out in a calm manner. We don't need professionalism all over the place, but I would say that would be one of those times.
All right, I'll let you contact Stormy.
So, are we recording the queue post tonight?
Oh yeah, I'm ready whenever.
I wouldn't mind doing one or two. You're in
it for the whole ride, Waterpig. Well, why are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah, bro. You got 100. I can knock out 100 in no time. You got to be able to explain it too, though. I'm just joking. I'll explain it for you, bro. You can read it.
That's another one, Dank. We just need a room just for queue posts where we can just have all the queue posts from beginning to end.
Does it really have to be a single person, or can it be different people?
Could be as many as we want.
That's what I
Has to
said.
all be you, Water Pitch.
How long will it take you to get through like 150, bro? Reading and explaining.
Somebody give him an energy drink.
Some crack rock. ...
Basically, an entire Library of Congress worth of dots, of ellipses.
Dude, you're not getting out that easy.
I didn't say I want to be here for the ride. I'm saying I'm not going to read them all.
Well, you guys should start with the first 50 Q posts.
So which website has all the Q posts we can use?
We're going to start at 1.
Let me rephrase that. What website what area has all the Q posts so I can, so I know where to read off of when doing my share?
Somebody want to drop that link real quick in Conspiracy Fact Live?
What was that, Dave?
I can't do my share of the Q posts if I don't know what Q post where an archive of the Q posts are.
We're about to load it up for you, bro.
Okay.
That one works.
Okay, it's gonna take a sec for me to get to October. Never mind. Never mind. Oh. Never mind. There we go. I went so fast that I just kind of flipped out for a sec. You guys ready?
Hey, Joe, let me know when you're ready to do the Q post too. And we'll let Water Picker start it out after we do the intro, disclaimer, and prayer.
I said I'm not doing all of them, but I will do a few of them. I am adamant about that.
Just start off a couple, that's fine.
Especially after number 2. That's a mouthful.
You guys could start right now. I just started a stream like 10 minutes ago, so I will have to go back and edit and cut anyways.
All right, here, I'll get it going then. One sec. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with the Q post from the first one. So before we start that, I'm going to read the public notice. All content, including but not limited to text, links, code, and imagery found on this website are a matter of evidentiary, public law, public record, and constitute evidence and testimony. Any infringement or suppression of this site or its content in any way or at any time is presumed in law as an actionable obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and or tampering with evidence. If such acts are made by those on behalf of a state or governmental body, then it also becomes an act of actionable official misconduct and abuse of office. Such an act is willing acceptance of all criminal liability, nullifying any perceived contract and immunity of such office that the perpetrator may be required to forfeit personal property. Where y'all at, guys? We're going to start on post one. Cool. And I'll start off with a quick prayer. God, I offer myself to you to build and do with as you want. Relieve me of my bondage of self, that I might better do your will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help. Of thy power, thy love, thy way of life, may I do your will always. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, so you water picker, if you want to jump off the first Q post.
Just give me a couple deep breaths.
Sounded like a yawn, not a deep breath, homie.
To be fair, that is what a yawn is. Okay, before I begin doing it properly, how do we read these? Are we doing all of the codes themselves, or just the text Q has posted?
Just do the number, the date, and then get into it.
So the number, the thing in blue, correct? The date and the number of the post, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was grabbing my medicine.
Does that include any post that Q is responding to?
Yeah, you read it. You can either tell if it's an anon that he's responding to or if it's one of his earlier posts.
By the what exactly?
Normally by the signature or by the style of the actual writing. Here, I'll start it off and show you, bro.
How about we make it simple?
So
the ones I do don't have any responses. Make it easy on me so I don't get confused.
All right, so number one is October 28th, 2017. It starts off with him basically putting Hillary Clinton will be arrested between 7:45 a.m. through 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, the morning of October 30th, 2017. And then he responds to himself, HRC extradition already in motion, effective yesterday, with several countries in case of cross-border run. Passport approved to be flagged effective 10:30 at 2:01 a.m. Expect massive riots, organized defiance, and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. USMs will conduct an operation while National Guard activated. Proof check, locate a National Guard member and ask if activated for duty 10:30 across most major cities. Boom. Then we got number two. You want to do that one?
Yes. October 28th, 2017. Mockingbird. HRC detained. Not arrested. Yet. Where is Huma? Follow Huma. This has nothing to do with Russia. Yet. Why does Putin surround himself with generals? What is military intelligence? Why go around three-letter agencies? What Supreme Court case allows for the use of MI versus constitutional, assembled and approved agencies? Who has ultimate authority over branches of military without approval conditions unless 90 plus in wartime conditions? What is military code? Where is AW being held? Why? POTUS will not go on TV to address nation. POTUS must isolate himself to prevent negative optics. POTUS knew removing criminal rogue elements as a first step was essential to free and pass legislation. Who has access to everything classified? Do you believe HRC, Soros, Obama, etc. have more power than Trump? Fantasy. Whoever controls the office of the presidency controls this great land. They never believed for a moment they, Democrats and Republicans, would lose control. This is not a Republican versus Democrat battle. Why does Soros donate all of his money recently? Why did Soros donate all of his money recently? Why would he place all of his funds in ARC? Mockingbird, 10/30/17. God bless, fellow patriots.
All right, can you explain it?
Huma, if I remember correctly, was that person that, and I believe it was the CIA or NSA that. Actually, I don't remember fully that particular one. Project Mockingbird. Oh, sorry.
Huma was basically her handler, the eyes on Saudi Arabia's investment, if you will, which is Hillary Clinton. She worked as, I believe, what was she, some kind of advisor or what was her actual position?
I think she was an aide.
Yeah, okay, so she's an aide, but basically she was the handler for Clinton, and POTUS surrounds himself with generals because the Secret Service is corrupted to where they would have tried to assassinate him, and he is exerting his position as executive commander, for being the leader of the military, Marines. So he basically is surrounding himself with loyal Marines and that are going to protect him instead against the deep state. So the three-letter agencies are corrupted. We know that they're rogue, especially the CIA. The Supreme Court case that allows for the use of military intelligence versus congressional assembly and approved agencies is, I believe, has to do with the state secrets. But AW, I don't know where they were held at, but HRC was detained so that she could get her boot, right? Her ankle monitor, her ankle bracelet, and she's not arrested yet. This is not a Republican versus Democrat battle. This is just a complete purge of corruption, which has literally spread through all of the agencies and mostly the higher positions. We're seeing that it's normally just the top of each, except for the NSA, because they still had Admiral Rogers, who's a patriot. And Soros put all of his funds in a RC, which is a oh shit. Oh my god, it's like a charity kind of thing.
Isn't that Rothschild?
Go for it.
RC is not Rothschild.
I don't think so.
Sorry. I didn't like that.
You're good, bro. Here, so number 3 is October 29th. Open Your Eyes, it finally came out that Rob Bob were key players in the uranium scandal. Number 4 is October 29th, 2017. It says, some of us come here to drop crumbs, just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. POTUS will not be addressing nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence for state secrets, and why might that be used versus any three-letter agency? What Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate what must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there are a lot more good than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Democrats. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Rothschild, Clinton, etc. have more power than present-day POTUS. Operation Mockingbird, Patriots are in control. Sit back and enjoy the show. Boom. So he's basically talking about some of the Q group just come here to drop crumbs to lead us in our research. POTUS is not going to be impeached or assassinated. Hopefully, we pray. He can't be basically acknowledging QAnon or any kind of that because it would make him look, biased, just like he can't, make any kind of, things that would damage his reputation right now, even though that's all they're trying to do is slander him. State secrets is basically where the prosecutors can withhold evidence after they lay down evidence. They can withhold it before the case starts. If it's national, if it puts national security in threat, so they can basically just say, "Oh, it's national security," and pull back any secrets that they don't want exposed. And POTUS is surrounded by generals because the Secret Service is corrupted, and like they just explained earlier, or like we just explained earlier, this is basically a complete purge of corrupt people. Number 5 is October 29th, 2017. Follow the money is the key. What is Pelosi's net worth by way of one example? Why coincidentally is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictment to plead what? What if John M. never had surgery and that was a cover for a future out if needed against prosecution? Why did Soros transfer a bulk of his funds to a nonprofit? No, this doesn't include massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why did Soros' son have several meetings with Canadian Prime Minister, and how is that related to Clinton's? Can you rely on being able to board a plane and fly away? Why is MS-13 a priority? Nobody got this. Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents, and why, how to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing and cannot fully be exposed. Also, many are thinking from one point of view. U.S. only, this evil is embedded globally. U.S. is the first domino. Have faith. So he's basically saying right here that most of these politicians are corrupt and accepting bribes or, contributions, we'll call it, from special interests, which are normally outside governments trying to buy favor with our government. So Pelosi's memory going and John McCain's surgery, which he didn't have, are just covers for pleading either insanity or incompetence in court. Soros transferred his funds to a nonprofit to avoid getting it seized, and the Soros' son meeting with the prime minister had to do with Uranium One, which is huge. That's the first place that the uranium went before it crossed the ocean. And can you rely on being able to board a plane and fly away? No, you cannot, because we already know how many planes have been, flown around mid-flight. MS-13 is a priority because they can be hired by these corrupt politicians to 187, which is kill people. And just like they did against Seth Rich, right? Where they had 2 MS-13 members try to assassinate him, and then they ended up assassinating themselves. But it is basically a clean break, and there's no possible way that they would get indicted for that or caught in the whole scandal. The truth is mind-blowing. It cannot fully be exposed yet. And this is a worldwide thing. Boom. So number 6, somebody?
I have a go. Dude. Damn it. I really need to pay attention more.
You're good. I got you this one. This one's long. Just 1 sec.
I got 7 then.
All right. So some of us come here to drop crumbs. Just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. Follow Huma tomorrow. POTUS will not be addressing nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence, state secrets, and wonder And why might that be used against any three-letter agency? What Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate? What must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals? Again, there are a lot more good than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of play. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Ross, Clinton, etc. have more power than present-day POTUS. Follow the money is the key. What is Pelosi's net worth by way of one example? Why coincidentally is her memory apparently going? Cover for possible future indictment to plead what? What if John M. never had surgery and that was the cover for a future out if needed against prosecution? Why did Soros transfer his bulk public funds to a nonprofit? Note this doesn't include several massive slush funds that are pulled by several high-ups. Why does Soros' son have a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister? And how is this related, or how is that related to the Clintons? Why is MS-13 a priority? Could people pay such gangs to kill opponents? Why? How to insulate against exposure? The truth is mind-blowing. It cannot fully be exposed. These people are evil. Operation Mockingbird. Boom. Seven. You there?
I'll take 7.
Sorry, my sister came in when I was talking, when you were talking.
You want to do 7?
I volunteered to say it.
All right, go for it.
So we're not doing dates when they're the same day.
Yeah, just still do it. Just number and date.
October 29th, 2017. Why wasn't HRC prosecuted for the emails? Put simply, Obama ultimately KO'd by using non-government email address to communicate with Clinton. Obama also had an alias along with each of his cabinet members. Therefore, indicting HRC would lead to indicting Obama and his cabinet, etc., which would never happen. Remember, he lied about knowing, but ultimately came out in the dump. Poof.
Can you explain that one?
Very straightforward. The reason why the emails where Hillary Rodham Clinton was never prosecuted for the emails is because it would drag Obama down with her. He was using the emails, the email server.
Exactly. And it would have, exactly, 100%. It would have dragged not only the president, but his entire cabinet down, which just absolutely cannot happen because that's too many people to replace. So exactly, 100%. You want to do number 8? What was that, Falcon?
Sure, I'll take it. October 29th, 2017. Huma, husband in jail. HRC, Muslim Brotherhood, or child. What would you do? Kiss your child goodbye and leave without a mother or father for Clinton? Where is Huma today? Was she with HRC on her book tour? Regarding military intelligence, state secrets. No FBI. POTUS installed his people within each top spot at each 3-letter agency except one. Good reason there, as ADMR kickstarted this and scrubbed all POTUS nominations to verify oath. Do you think they aren't in control of those respective agencies? What is most valuable? What is most valuable information? AG sessions on leakers. Fire or prosecute? Reorg is underway and happening. Coincidence? Senate Republicans pushing for Fed judge confirmations last week? Why are Senate Republicans dropping out? Not by choice, and were offered a choice. Rest assured, they will vote pro-Trump.
You want to explain it, bro?
I'll do the best I can. So Huma, talking about Huma's husband in jail. That's Anthony Weiner. He's doing time. We know that. HRC, Muslim Brotherhood, or child. So she had to make, Huma had to make a decision. HRC, Muslim Brotherhood, or the child, as I remember. So yeah, he's accused saying, what would you do? Kiss Your Child Goodbye and Leave Without a Mother or Father for Clinton. And Where is Huma Today? I'm not sure where she's at. Was she with HRC on her book tour? I don't remember. I don't think so.
She was.
She was, okay. Regarding military intelligence, state secrets, no FBI. So POTUS installed his people within each top spot at each three-letter agency except one. Good reason there. Adam R. Kickstarted this and scrubbed all POTUS nominations to verify oath. Do you think they aren't in control of those respective agencies? What is most valuable? And it's information. Attorney General Sessions on leakers, fire or prosecute. Guess they're trying to make a decision on that one. And he's just stating that reorganization is underway and happening. And, is it a coincidence Senate Republicans pushing for federal judge confirmations last week? No. And I guess the Senate Republicans, some of them were dropping out because, they were guilty of some pretty bad stuff.
Exactly. Basically, 70% of elected officials would be in jail if they were all charged. So some of them they had to make a deal with to basically they just wouldn't run for re-election. So that's what we're seeing with a lot of people. They're not going to be. I think it's most of them. So a lot of people won't even be coming back from this Congress break right now. So the great thing is also Sessions is going to be going hard on leakers. We're going to find out soon. He says trust Sessions and. Admiral Rogers is the head of the NSA, and he installed his people at the top of all the three-letter agencies, like Ray and the FBI, and he ended up dismantling the CIA. But all these organizations are now kind of under his control now. Finally,
nice.
So number 9, October 29th, 2017. Projection. These can't lose control over the black population. At some point, the Great Awakening will occur, whereby these false local, national black leaders are corrupt and paid off to help keep the black pop poor and in need. These formed the Confederate States against freeing slaves. These formed the KKK. HRC's mentor is who? What happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do these lose a majority of the vote? Through the looking glass, they rely on mainstream media to keep the narrative going, but tech is entrenching on their controls. They missed this in 2016 and desperately attempting to censor now due to CIA cash infusions. This will fail. Boom. So basically, he's saying that that these are basically some obstructing fucking treasonous bastards. You know what I mean? And that all these Black Lives Matter, Antifa is all Soros funded. It's all not grassroots or anything. It's all completely fake. And the Democrats especially rely heavily on not only illegal immigrants, but the black population. And so keeping them basically in need is very key, which is why they always come back with when they try to do the Civil War over freeing the slaves and create the KKK to try to intimidate them during the civil rights movement. And of course, they have the CIA funded most of these, especially the CNN, but mainstream media sites to all be basically weaponized, not journalistic, but just slanderous fucking sleazebags of reporters. So now we're into 10. Somebody want to read that? All right, I got you guys. Number 10, October 29th, 2017. Remember, the FBI and military intelligence have an open investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Why did Comey drop this? Who was the FBI director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money sent to the Clinton Foundation under disguise of Haiti relief went to Haiti? What countries donated big money to the Clinton Foundation and why? How much was owed by accepting? When she lost, how would this be repaid? What did Obama do with the cash just prior to leaving office? Repayment to those who donated for favors access? Dig. Again, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Could you live with yourself helping to cover up such evil, despicable acts if you were given a safe way out? These people worship Satan. Some openly show it. And so saying basically that there was investigations into the Clinton Foundation. Comey helped drop it by changing, gross negligence that was stated like 4 or 5 times to something less, intense of keywords, and making it seem, like it wasn't anything worth indicting over. I forget who the FBI director was at this time, but it might have been, who was that? Is that McCabe? Maybe. How many kids disappeared? Well, there's the 30 that disappeared from Laura Silsby that were not even orphans, but had families, and she was caught trying to steal them into the Dominican Republican border, and she was caught with 4 people that worked for her at the St. Life's Children's, like, adoption or something like that, some kind of, foundation or charity or institution, whatever. And so over $9 billion went to Clinton Foundation. Bill Clinton actually had to come and pardon Laura Silsby because people that worked under her actually got out and released, and she was the last one still sitting in jail. She was basically the top person in the company that they were, under the guise of. And so Bill Clinton came and pardoned her ass, and actually went there 2 partners. Freaking crazy. How much money was sent to the Clinton Foundation under the disguise of Haiti relief? Went to Haiti. So it's over $9 billion was donated. Over 500 went to the government. Over 50 million went to the people, and almost the rest of the almost $9 billion went to Clintons. So what countries donated big money? So we have Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iran. There's a ton of other countries, right? Like the list goes on. And how is it? When she lost, how is it to be repaid? It was the $1.7 billion that Obama gave right before he left office to Iran and North Korea and a few other countries. And it was in 4 different planes, right? That took the cash, right? They could have just wire transferred it, but they gave it cash under the guise of rescuing hostages, which is complete bullshit. And so, yeah, basically POTUS is ending the strings that they have over these people that are not quite as guilty as them, and he is basically freeing them to not be under their their pressure, and they can do what's right now. So anybody want to take 11?
Yeah, October 29, 2017. Key: military intelligence versus FBI, CIA, NSA. No approval or congressional oversight. State secrets upheld under SC. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? Under what article can president impose martial law takeover or MI takeover investigations for the 3-letter agencies? What conditions must present itself? Why is this so very important? Who surrounds POTUS? They lost this very important power, the one area of the government not corrupt and directly serves POTUS. So military intelligence versus FBI, CIA, NSA. No approval or congressional oversight. I guess they were just, that's when Q was saying that they were just running with no approval and no oversight. State secrets upheld under SC, not sure what that means. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? That's Trump. Under what article can the president impose MI or ML takeover investigations for 3-letter agencies? I'm not sure what that is. What conditions must present itself? National security. Why is this so very important? It was important so that the president can take those steps. And who surrounds the POTUS? Marines. They lost this very important power, the one area of the government not corrupt and directly serves POTUS.
Exactly. That's one of the huge things is they're not corrupted, and they have to take an oath to defend against domestic and foreign terrorists, right? So the key is military intelligence. Basically, he has the Q-level clearance people on his team and are trying to do everything they can to protect all of us. and restore the power to the people. Commander-in-Chief, of course, Trump. And what conditions must present themselves? It's basically martial law, but we've been under a form of martial law since like 1864 or something, reenacted in like 1923 or something. Not so sure on the second date. The first date's right, but it was like even further locked down in the early 1900s. But basically, they lost this very important power, which is military. 12 is October 30th, 2017. Military intelligence reference above is the absolute biggest inside drop this board will ever receive. Now think about why Antifa plays right into the plan. Always ahead, good guys are winning. He's basically saying that, Storm's Antifa and that it's not a real grassroots movement. They have a complete narrative and direction that they're trying to go. 13 is October 30th, 2017. Now think about the timing of POTUS traveling to China, South Korea. I've said too much. God bless Patriots. About his trip to China, where he gets the forbidden temple dinner and gets to feed the fish that only the emperor gets to feed. And he gets to South Korea, where he unites the Koreas, and they're denuclearizing as we speak, I bet. Here's a fun one. 14, October 31st. Who is the picture of George Washington crossing the Potomac, which leads to the first battle of the first American Revolution, right? So it says SCIF, and the F is bolded, and it's in a kill box. Military intelligence. What is state secrets and how upheld in Supreme Court? What must be completed to engage military intelligence over other three-letter agencies? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? Why is this relevant? What is Flynn's background? Why is this relevant? Why did Admiral R, NSA, meet Trump privately without authorization? Does POTUS know where the bodies are buried? Does POTUS have the goods on most bad actors? Was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was HRC next in line? Was the election supposed to be rigged? Did good people prevent the rigging? Why did POTUS form a panel to investigate? Has POTUS ever made a statement that did not become proven as true fact? What is POTUS in control of? What is the one organization left that isn't corrupt? Why does military play such a vital role? Why is POTUS surrounded by highly respected generals? What guards former presidents? Why is this relevant? Who guards HRC? Why is Antifa allowed to operate? Why hasn't the MB been classified as a terrorist group? What happens if Soros-funded group operations get violent and engage in domestic terrorism? What happens if mayors, police, comms, chiefs do not enforce the law? What authority does POTUS specifically have over the Marines? Why is this important? What is Mueller's background? Military? Was Trump asked to run for president with assurances made to prevent tampering? How is POTUS allowed 5 steps ahead? Or how is POTUS always 5 steps ahead? Who is helping POTUS? Boom, that's a huge one. So the SCIF is a room basically with all the intelligence. It has all the worldwide intelligence bases. We have a picture of it that has all the different, special, you know what I'm saying? High-level intelligence, top secret clearance monitoring kind of stuff. And so military intelligence, what is state secrets and how is it upheld? I already explained that. What must be completed? That's the martial law. What must occur to allow for civilian trials? I think it's pretty much around the same thing. What is Flynn's background? He was basically a task force leader, right, of breaking apart terrorist groups, right? I believe he worked on like a bunch of Middle Eastern stuff. Was this relevant? Because we're taking down the deep state, it's 100% relevant. Why did Admiral Rogers meet Trump privately without authorization? That is because he was getting wiretapped, and Admiral Rogers let him know, hey, you're being wiretapped, surveilled. Does POTUS know where the bodies are? Fuck yeah, he does. Does he have the goods on most bad actors? Yeah. Was he asked to run for president? Yes, he was. By who and why? By the generals that were being fired mostly without cause in the first term of his presidency, when all these generals realized this is an unprecedented rate and something's going on here. We're purposely being weakened. And they kind of united together and started working on this plan. They decided not to end up engaging this. It would have been a coup at the time after he got his second term elected. They instead planned for years on getting somebody elected to basically do it the right way by winning the presidency and, corrupting the cabal, eliminating the cabal that way. And so he was definitely groomed and courted to be president. And the election was supposed to be rigged. The Soros machines, they have illegal immigrants voting Ds. They have all sorts of shit that was supposed to set up to help Clinton win. POTUS formed an investigate to... he basically formed a panel to investigate himself after he knew that he was innocent and that he was getting wiretapped by Mueller, because Mueller is, guys, an ex-Marine, and that's something you never retire from. The one organization that isn't corrupt, even though he might be, what we call like a gray hat, he is definitely under Trump's authority at this point. It's super relevant. Let's see. He hasn't said anything that's not been true. If you guys listen to his campaign speech, it's freaking the most amazing thing I've ever heard, I think. It's so deep and true and really explains the pivotal moment that we're at in history. The elections are rigged, of course, we know. Antifa is allowed to operate because they're covered, just like, any kind of hate speech that David Hogg says is cool, but, talking about he's going to outlive all the conspiracy theorists, right? Conspiracy fact instead. And they're covered while we get censored. Yeah, so Mueller's background, he's a Marine. And, he's always 5 steps ahead because he already knows he's already been woke for so long. Okay, anybody want to take the next one? 15, boom.
Is anybody out there?
I guess it's just you and me, bro.
I'm here, but I don't know where I'm looking.
We're at Q post number 15.
Where do we have them at?
There's a link in the chat room.
Q on post.
I'm here, but
go for it.
Says I'm here, but you're not be wanting me to read nothing. No got the subtitles.
Come on, at least get one. Just take this one, bro. Come on, 15.
Hold on, one moment. One moment. There are more good people than bad. The wizards and the warlocks. Inside term. Will not always another satanic evil POS control our country? Realize. Soros, Clinton, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by 3 families. The 4th was removed post-Trump's victory. 11.3, Podesta indicted. 11.6, Huma indicted. Manafort was placed into Trump's camp as well as others. The corruption that will come out is so serious that deals must be cut for people to walk away. Otherwise, 70% of elected politicians would be in jail. You are seeing it already. A deep cleansing is occurring, and prevention and defense of pure evil is occurring on a daily basis. They never thought they were going to lose control of the presidency, not just these, and thought they would control since making past mistakes. JFK, Reagan, Goodspeed, Patriot, P.S. Soros is targeted.
Boom.
Boom.
So this one's, pretty self-explanatory. This is where we get the 70% from that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, it's all kind of self-explanatory. All right, here we go. 16, October 31st, 2017. Get the popcorn. Friday and Saturday will deliver on the MAGA promise. POTUS knows he must clean house government in order to free up and demonstrate who has authority in order to pass important legislation. This was always the priority. Remember, AG Sessions cannot look like an impartial player that is out to get all former Obama team members, as we need him for other important work. All will come into focus, and for anyone to think POTUS is not in control is kidding themselves. Also, he's 100% insulated with zero risk of impeachment. Fact. Boom. That's how we do it up in her. Okay, so 17, October 31st. Why does Obama travel in advance of POTUS to foreign locations? Why is this relevant? Focus on power of POTUS as it relates to the Marines. How can military intelligence be applied to prosecute bad actors and avoid corrupt agencies and judges? Biggest drop on poll, which is politically incorrect on 4chan. Above is reason why the shills are sliding. In case you didn't know, shills log and send new info back to ASF for instruction. They use a 5-prong prepackaged injection. One post auto-generates 4 more at random designated times. Common drive of posts they all tap into. Since they misjudged the influence of the mainstream media, they aggressively look to censor throughout major platforms in exchange for CIA slush funds and worldwide access for expansion of said networks. Everything they do has been forecasted and prepared for. So Obama travels in advance of POTUS trying to get money or remind everybody, hey, we're still on, right? We're still on for our deal, right? Of fucking ruining the world. All right, cool. Somebody want to get 18? Oh, and basically the rest of this is just saying military intelligence, they can do military tribunals to escape state secrets and really nail these assholes. And it's the biggest drop on politically incorrect, which is a channel on 4chan. Shills are like trolls, which misdirect, misinfo, and just bullshit, create drama, all sorts of stuff. And shills are paid trolls, so they're even worse. And yeah, we got an expert in dealing with them. And they do use a lot of different tactics to try to censor us. So 18?
October 31st, 2017. Why did Mueller meet POTUS one day prior to FBI announcement if Mueller could not be offered director due to previous term limit rule? Why is Pelosi begging for a new special counsel? What is Pelosi's net worth? How was this obtained given salary as a career official? Why is Pelosi's memory going? Could it protect against prosecution? How so? What if John M.'s surgery was fake? Why would this occur? What could this prevent potentially? What is the Mayo Clinic? What sits on the BOD there? Boom.
Boom. You want to explain it?
Okay, so what we have here is many of you know that Mueller cannot, he finished all his terms that he could possibly have in the FBI, but he still met as though he wanted to be director. So they're kind of asking, why did he meet, if he couldn't be director anymore based on the term limits? And this is possibly suggesting that there's some inside involvement with Trump or of some sort. The other thing to note about Mueller is he's ex-Marine. And so if you noticed, Trump has been surrounding himself with the military, and that has kind of explained itself with previous posts. I won't go into it more. The next thing is with Pelosi. Why is she so adamant for a special counsel? And this is, quite evident. I mean, you see it now with all of the Democrats. Basically, what they want is they want to find some way to impeach POTUS. They're just looking for some way to impeach POTUS. And the next part talking about Pelosi's net worth and how does she get it being a career politician. And the crazy part about this is, politicians make about, I want to say between 100, 200,000 a year. So how does she do this? And basically they're suggesting corruption. How does she become one of the richest people in the Senate? And that's what they're pointing out, pure corruption here. The next thing is about her memory. How come she's faking? Or they're telling us that she's faking, but they're saying, why is her memory going away? And this is possibly so if the hammer does come down, she can play it off as though, she has dementia or whatever. She's not, totally fit to stand trial. And this is also kind of what's alluded with John McCain, too. He has cancer, wasn't in his right mind, doesn't know what's going on. How can you dare send me to jail? The next thing is, what is the Mayo Clinic? I don't totally know the last two, the Mayo Clinic and BOD there. So if you guys know, let me know.
How about while you look up the board of directors, I'll help finish this off for you. If you look up the board of directors real quick. So the Mayo Clinic is basically, we're investigating, but it seems like they are involved in organ harvesting. And they're, of course, involved in helping McStain's, false tumor surgery. But it looks like organ harvesting among a couple other things that are kind of hard to say without proof. So I'm going to leave it there. But there is some very suspect articles we could drop related to Mayo Clinic and what happens associated with them. But POTUS's meeting with Mueller basically was a 2.5 hour meeting, right? That was, I bet, POTUS explaining how they were going to, do this investigation on him, right? Because that's what it was, the Russia. But yet it's really going to be a way to investigate the deep state, right? And all the Clinton and the Democrats' corruption, right? By having unlimited cash funds, no timeline, which after a year, Trump could have just been like, hey guys, like, where's the evidence? All right, let's wrap it up then. You don't have an open, timeline. That's not cool. And the other thing is he basically gives them like full access to and complete privacy too. Nobody knows who's he's in or what, they're looking into exactly, Go for it, bro.
So we have a long list of board of directors. Linda, what was that?
Go for it, bro.
Okay. We have a long list here. A Linda, a Daniel, Jeffrey.
Read them all, bro. Let's just read them all the way out. Let's do it.
Okay. Ursula M. Burns, Stephen Bunsker, Mary Sue Coleman, Watt W. Decker, Vice President of Mayo, CEO, Clinic in Arizona, Richard K. Davis, Samuel A. D. Piazza Jr., Generico Vergara, Vice President of Mayo, CEO, in Florida, William W. George, Bobby S. Gustot, Eddie L. Green, George C. Havorson, Charles Michael M. Harper, MD, Luis E. Karn, or I can't pronounce that, Paula E. Menisky, Alan, we'll skip that one, Heidi Nelson, John H. Newsworth, Michael K. Powell, Cookie Roberts, Veronica L. Roger, Keith L. Salazar, Eric E. Smith, Randall C. Steer, Annie M. Sweeney, Charles B. Tom, Mary Jo Williams.
All right, boom. So I actually don't really recognize any suspect names on there, but I'm actually not that really familiar with those guys. So not so surprising. Start talking about International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, though. Boom, yeah. But these guys I don't know so much about, but maybe it rings a bell with somebody else. And we're always open to, if you guys have more evidence, just let us know, and we'll report it too. You were gonna say something, Falcon?
No, I wasn't going to say anything, but I could do 19 if we're ready.
Go for it, bro.
Okay, November 1st, 2017. Who do Democrats want to control, or why do Democrats want to control the black population? Why do they intentionally keep poor? Why do they intentionally keep poor and in need? Why do Democrats project racism on a daily basis against Republicans? Why do black elected officials do the crazy talk on behalf of Democrats? How do Democrats cover the historical facts of forming the Confederacy, KKK, and oppose all things pro-black regarding legislation? What happens if Democrats lose the slave grip on the black population? Why do Dems, through the funding of the CIA, prop up and install Hollywood media assets? Does this fall within Operation Mockingbird? What were the historical advantages Democrats gained by having mainstream media and famous people peddling narrative? Who exposed the pedo network within Hollywood? You can't answer the above, but will laugh once disclosed details. The network which controls this false narrative, which in turn keeps the black population under control, is being dismantled. False, local, and national black leaders will be exposed next as shields for the Democratic Party. Follow the money. Maxine Waters has a $4 million home and cash assets in excess of $6 million. How is that possible? One example. All of these questions help to paint the full picture. Okay, and why do the Democrats want to control the black population so they can keep them down? Why do they intentionally keep poor and in need so that they can vote for them, so they can vote for Democrat? Why do Democrats project racism on a daily basis against Republicans? Just fits in the narrative of, to keep the black vote. Why do black elected officials do the crazy talk on behalf of Democrats? That got me there. How do Democrats cover the historical facts of forming historical facts of forming the Confederacy? Don't know that one. The KKK, and oppose all things pro-black regarding legislation. What happens if Democrats lose the slave grip on the black population? If they lose the black population, I mean, who else is going to vote for them?
The black population is kind of their permanent underclass. So if you follow communist doctrine, in order to pull people into it, because it's a control structure, what they need is a permanent underclass. They use that permanent underclass to bully the other class by saying, look, you discriminated against this or that class. So in essence, if they lose the black, underclass at that point, well, who do they say at that point is the underclass? See, they use all of the discrimination against black people, and they say, look, black people are discriminated against. And then in turn, they push reverse racism on white people and other races, because they say, well, since you discriminated against black people, in essence, you have to give up certain rights and make it unfair to make up for what you did. And so they constantly do this. But if there's no person to use to play this whole narrative of divide and conquer with, then they no longer have control.
Dan, that was well put.
A happy population it's an uncontrollable population. They have no reasons to listen to bullshit.
Yeah, you did some great points there, bro. And did you mention that? Wasn't it?
Alrighty.
What was that dude's name that exposed it? It was Corey Feldman, right? That first exposed the pedophiles.
Oh yeah, Corey Feldman. Yes.
And also, what was the other part you were having trouble with, bro? I'm sorry. I might be able to help. I was trying to upload a couple pictures.
Are we live streaming right now?
Yeah, we're going to be segmenting this into a video.
Q post 1 through 50. And maybe more if we have the momentum.
So yeah, here we go. 20 is November 1st, 2017. Who did POTUS meet with yesterday? Was Attorney General Sessions there? How many military generals were on the White House list to attend a separate meeting? Could those meetings have been combined? Why were certain rooms in the White House renovated? Where was the meeting on Monday? Why aren't phones allowed in this room, one of many? What firm was contracted to conduct the renovations? November 1st. I'm not sure who he met with. Attorney Sessions was probably there. Yeah, the military generals could definitely be in the same meeting with Sessions, and they're all getting their story straight as far as what they were going to do.
There is why was cell phones not allowed in?
Because they can be, used to, record video or audio, 100%. So that's not allowed. He's not taking any risks of leaks like that.
The other point was, why did he allow it even in the renovated area?
Because when Obama left, they left a lot of actual weapons in the White House that could hurt or kill people, actually, hidden in the walls, I think.
The big reason is because if they were renovating it, right, part of the thing is they didn't want anybody to be able to see what was going on in there and how it was re-renovated, or if, they wanted to keep it completely secret. And so with cell phones in the area, basically what you can do is you can map out where someone is at in the room and map out different things with the Wi-Fi signals that go off of stuff. So what they wanted to do, and also it pinpoints different aspects of the room too. So you could possibly see where you could target people, that type of stuff, if you wanted to, for any type of bad actor. So what they were doing is making it completely secret, but not even during the renovation, allowing anybody access with cell phones.
Especially if they have one of the more high-tech phones. The ones that can do room tracking and stuff. Very useful for virtual reality. So the technology is going to become standard in a lot of phones in the future as that medium matures.
Exactly.
The phone is less of an actual phone and more the closest existence of a Star Trek tricorder nowadays. A multi-tool that has a crap ton of tech compiled in it. That's what it is. It might not be capable of scanning stuff as detailed as a tricorder, but it is essentially a form of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and imagine if some of the phones were getting hacked. Have you guys seen how accurate, when you like the Find My Phone technology is? That stuff will give you, it'll pinpoint it perfect to the exact address.
Yeah, the crap they sell you in the consumer market, that's just what they're selling. Phones, I can imagine, can have a lot more technology in them. So The crap versions is what we're sold. Imagine what the high-tech military-grade shit is.
And you remember Snowden's revelation? All of the chips are compromised.
All right, so we got 21st is November 1st, or number 21. I've done some crumbs like this before over the weekend, which started the intense shilling. At this point, we are far enough along, you can paint the picture without risk of jeopardizing the operation. All right, so he's going to start going into more hardcore detail. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used in the military to save the Republic, and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on polls. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. Boom! Here we go. Number 23. Oh, wait, here, I'll explain. The National Guard can work in coordination with the Marines, yes. And the conditions need to be satisfied is basically a national emergency, right?
There's a little bit more than that. The biggest thing is the reason for all of this is that the military itself can't operate on the civilian population. So we have the National Guard, of course, FBI and normal police, but the military isn't supposed to be used against the citizens at all. Now, there's the joint operations in which they can, but generally a Marine or any of the military service member would be in capacity of support, and they wouldn't be able to directly act, so to speak.
The National Guard is the actual people doing the arrest. The military would be the backup if a particular target has a lot of armaments.
Yeah, like things that they would be able to do would be that they would be able to operate equipment, but they would not be able to actually pull off the arrest like you were saying. So are we on to the next?
Yeah, go for it. Or you want to do it? Yeah?
What number are we up to?
23.
All right. 23, November 1st, 2017. Note, MI has the same SAPS as NSA, CIA, etc. as designated post 9/11. Why is this relevant? Who can be held hostage and controlled? CIA thinks its foreign offshore assets are strong enough to defend against the U.S. Executive not accounting for the military use on the domestic soil. Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the president, and what is it to prevent? They knew our agency would grow in power so much that they can hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top.
So yeah, it's military intelligence has all the special access programs, all the black ops that are all the other agencies have, because they can't have the military be less informed than any of the other branches. So and who could be held hostage and controlled? Could be the POTUS basically. What does the Constitution? Yeah, so he does control the top. That's what we were already talking about. Boom, 24.
Yeah, so what he, to elaborate on that, basically what he's saying in the gist is that the CIA has it, like, if you're aware, the CIA has its own military assets outside. And what they thought is that they were in control and could control, they could control the assets here at home, the reserve and so forth. So what they thought, or what they didn't realize, is that the Marines could support them. And so this is what they didn't count on. And the reason why the Marines can do that to help them out is for just a contingency like this.
The people who forged the blueprint of our nation were not dumb. They could never imagine the world we lived in, but they understood the baseline patterns that they can form from to know how to add backup plans, essentially.
All right, so number 24, November 1st. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put into submission. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted and all will do as told. You will see more of this occur, not normal yet disregarded, and even on the D side. So he's basically talking about what we were talking about earlier. So 25 is November 1st. Follow up to last post. Return the comments regarding Pelosi and John McStain. Some of us refuse to say his last name for a reason. This all has meaning, everything stated, big picture stuff. Few positions allowed for this direct knowledge. Proof to begin 11-3. We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. Number 26, November 1st. Think about it logically. The only way is the military, fully controlled, save and spread. Once 11-3 verifies as first marker, biggest advance drop on poll. 27, November 1st, not everything can be publicly disclosed because so much ties back to foreign heads of state. Much will be revealed. We want transparency, but not at a cost we can't recover from. All right, 28. It's a picture of the black spy from Spy vs. Spy. It says, what must be complete? It's on November 1st, 2017. What must be completed to engage military intelligence over three letter agencies during the 1950s and 60s? Federal troops and federalized National Guard forces accompanied by military intelligence personnel were deployed to help integrate Southern schools. 23, and to help deal with civil disorders in Detroit in 1967 and other cities in the following year after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Throughout this period, military intelligence units also continued to collect data on Americans at home who were suspected of involvement in subversive activities. In the late 1960s, the Pentagon compiled personal information on more than 100,000 politically active Americans in an effort to quell civil rights and anti-Vietnam War demonstrations and discredit protesters. The Army used 1,500 plainclothes agents to watch demonstrations, infiltrate organizations, and spread disinformation. According to one report, the Army had at least one observer at every demonstration of more than 20 people. The Army's activities were summed up by Senator Sam Ervin, allegedly the purpose of predicting and preventing civil disturbances, or for the purpose of predicting and preventing civil disturbances which might develop beyond the control of state and local officials. Army agents were sent throughout the country to keep surveillance over the way the civilian population expressed their sentiments about government policies. In churches, on campuses, in classrooms, and public meetings, they took notes, tape recorded, and photographed people who dissented in thought, word, or deed. This included... Where am I at? This included... Shite. Boom. Okay, so this included clergymen, editors, public officials, and anyone who sympathized with the dissenters. There's a link for an article. Trump has had military intelligence infiltrate Antifa and all the dissenting local governments. Always 5 steps ahead. Please be true. Q responds to that anon saying, well done. Picture being painted. That's probably one of the first pats on the back right there.
Yeah, this was such a great post.
Oh, I know. I love that one. November 1st, 2017. He's really going hard today, or on that day. Some things must remain classified at the very end. North Korea, like him, he's an in the play? Who is the director? The truth seconds would riot, revolt, reject, etc. The pedo networks are being dismantled. The child abductions for satanic rituals, i.e. Haiti and other third world countries, are paused, not terminated until players in custody. We pray every single day for God's guidance and direction as we are truly up against pure evil. Boom. So he's talking basically about, the Jeffrey Epstein Island where all these Haiti sacrifices are taking place because they love Haitian people because of all the tragedies that they've been, the victim of. And we're going to not get into the full extent of that right now because that's way too deep.
And very
the very beginning of the post. We don't want to scare everybody off yet. Somebody want to do 30?
November 1st, 2017. Would you believe a device was placed that could actually cause harm to anyone in the room and would, in essence, be undetectable? Fantasy, right? When Trump was elected, you can't possibly imagine the steps taken prior to losing power to ensure future safety and control. When was it reported Trump Jr. dropped his SS detail or Secret Service detail? Why would he take that huge risk given what we know? I could hint and point, but cannot give too many highly classified data points. Those key words and questions are framed to reduce sniffers, programs that could actually absorb and analyze data, then push to Z terminals for eval. Think X key SC or steroids. So I think you kind of covered this earlier about why they had to redo the White House and everything, and re-renovate it because there was a lot of, basically booby traps there to hurt them and things that aren't in the public's preview of weapons that could, be that aren't detectable, but that could definitely hurt POTUS and his family. So they had to basically strip everything down and remove everything. And this also alludes to another part that POTUS was talking about, where in his State of the Union, where he was like, there's going to be more advances and he's going to open that up and we're going to see more advances. The next thing here is why did Trump Jr. drop his Secret Service detail? Well, I think we can see here the Secret Service is compromised. And so this would be why POTUS himself has his own unique team that he trusts, and everybody's not going with the Secret Service necessarily. Next thing here, I don't know what the X key SC or steroids is, or what's meant by the terminal there, but I'm guessing what he's saying is they don't want to give out too much information because there could be possibly some programs out there that could analyze that.
Sorry, which one was that? Which post?
I was on 30.
Okay. That's what we were talking about earlier with the device planted in the White House that could actually physically cause harm.
Yep.
And why Trump Jr. dropped his SS because they're freaking suspect-ass, treasonous, corrupt traitors. So 31, November 1st, 2017, world stalemate. We all have the goods on everyone else. That's part of the reason why some things that tie back to foreign heads of state will remain classified. Not all. We are in one of the most critical times of our country. Trump and others are working to balance what we're doing well for America, the common person, to endorse, while at the same time purifying our government and remove the bad actors who are entrenched. There's so much string pulling and blackmail that we need to cut these off to truly gain power granted us by the patriots and hardworking people of this great country. 32 is November 1st still, 2017, maybe one day, but it cannot go so slow. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. It will send a signal to others immediately, and you'll see the tide turn. Not even the MSM can hide, and rest assured, some will be jailed as deep cover agents. I'm hopefully okay. So basically, he's saying right there, like General Flynn and stuff are going to begin, and Manafort, that kind of thing. But Manafort's a plant. So is all the good people. General Flynn's a true patriot, though, and they falsified his charges that they were trying to push on him. So it's pretty interesting. 33 is November 1st, 2017. I'm hopeful my time spent here was not wasted. Note few, if any, shills inside the thread. Reason for that is being monitored, recorded, and analyzed, and don't want the clutter. Take good care. God bless. 34. November 1st, 2017, Q Clearance Patriot. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize we are taking back our great country and the land of the free from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11/3 upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, actionable 11/4. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We will be initiating the emergency broadcast system, the EMS, during this time in an effort to provide a direct message avoiding the fake news to all citizens. Organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during this period will be met with swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. Boom. 35. November 1st, 2017, POTUS will be well insulated, protected on Air Force One and abroad, specific locations classified, while these operations are conducted due to the nature of the entrenchment. It is time to take back our country and make America great again. Let us salute and pray for these brave men and women in uniform who will undertake this assignment to bring forth peace and unity and return power to the people. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods for reasons I'm sure everyone here can understand. Follow the questions from the previous threads and remain calm. The primary targets are within DC and remain at the top on both sides. The spillover in the streets will be quickly shut down. Look for more false flags. Stay alert. Be vigilant. And above all, please pray. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. Whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Love is patient. Love is kind. God bless my fellow Americans. 41020. That was actually written by Donald J. Trump. Those are his initials. 41020 is DJT.
Amen.
Love that post. Here we go. 36, November 2nd. It's 2017. Military intelligence, no media, no leaks. How many military generals have been in and out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn, background and potential role. What's the common denominator in terms of military backgrounds close to POTUS? Why did Soros transfer bulk of his public funds to an MPO? Why is this relevant? Who owes a lot to very bad actors? How can she repay as payment was made under promise of victory? What cash payments occurred by Barack Obama during the last 90 of his presidency to foreign states and or organizations? What slush funds did Attorney General Sessions through DOJ put an end to? How does Soros, Obama, Clinton, Holder, Lynch, etc. all net many millions of dollars normally within a single tax year? What was negotiated on the tarmac between Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch. Remember, it was HRC was going to win during this time period. What if the Wizards and Warlocks tipped off a local reporter as to the supposed unscheduled stop? What if the NSA, under the personal direction from Admiral Rogers, had this meeting miscat and logged under a false identity to prevent the bad actors from locating while also verifying to said players all was clear, no logs? What really happened when the Wizards and Warlocks revealed what they had? Was Comey forced to the spotlight shortly thereafter, not by choice, right before the election, no doubt, which would cast suspicion. These are crumbs. You cannot fully imagine the full and complete picture. If Trump failed, if we failed, and HRC assumed control, we as patriots were prepared to do the unthinkable. This was leaked internally and kept in the delegate recount scam and BO from declaring fraud. Dig deeper, missing critical points to paint the full picture. There's simply no other way than to use the military. It's that corrupt and dirty. Please be safe and pray for those in harm's way as they continually protect and serve our great country. So if somebody wants to lead a prayer real quick, that'd be great. You guys still with me?
Yes, I'm still here.
I'm here as well. I'm just putting in my 2 cents here and there. I actually have a set right now to state about the recent post. It is why we're doing this kind of stuff. Who do you think is going to disseminate information to the public before these arrests?
That's why you're here, buddy.
Exactly. I'm making note for anyone that's reading this video.
Joe, you want us to lead another prayer there?
Yeah, I was going to say, I wanted to hear one of your guys' voice, but if you guys don't want to, I'll go ahead. I got no problem.
You do the prayer, because I'll do some of the reading.
Got you, bro. There we go. Dear Lord, we come to you today, Lord, to ask you for forgiveness, Lord. Forgiveness for our sins, those sins we commit against you, my Lord. Those sins we commit against ours and the sins that others commit against us, Lord. We ask you to please forgive us for everything we do. Please watch over us, watch over everybody that is in this world, Lord. And let this video, let all our videos, Lord, reach those people out there, Lord. We're just trying to help out. Excuse me. And please, Lord, please take care of everyone and keep us safe. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
That leads us to 37, November 1st, 2017. They are true patriots. We never forget. Let these coming days be remembered in our history as the time we fought to recapture the republic from those evil, bad actors for so long have sacrificed good people of this land for their own personal gain. Fight the good fight. Let justice be served. 38, November 2nd, 2017. 4 carriers and escorts in the Pacific. Why is this relevant? To prevent other state actors from attempting to harm us during this transition, Russia/China, or controversially, all for North Korea, or all 3. Think logically about the timing of everything happening. No increased military movement, no NG deployment starting tomorrow, no false flags. Follow Huma. Prepare messages of reassurance based on what was dropped here to spread on the different platforms. The calm before the storm.
Yeah, that was a great video, right? Remember, the reporter's like, what are you talking about? Watch and find out.
Okay, moving on to 39, November 2nd, 2017. Would it blow your mind if I told you BL has been to North Korea and perhaps there now? That's Barack Obama. Why did the administration do little to slow their nuclear and missile capabilities? Who fed North Korea with strategic intel? And the same goes with, or was it Iran? What deal was done with Iran under Barack Obama? Why was the deal sealed under a top secret classification? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why, after Barack Obama left office, all of a sudden North Korea has nukes and the tech to miniaturize for the payload delivery within the U.S.? What about NSA, CIA, DIA, etc., all confirming tech wouldn't be in place for 5+ years. Statement made in 2016. Why is all this relevant and what does it tell you? Big picture is rare. So basically what he's alluding here is Barack Obama possibly gave the weapons to North Korea, and he was also in North Korea, which, contrary to belief, the media, says we don't have any relations with them. And I believe at this post, even though we don't have it here, there were pictures showing that he was there. And this is all, just kind of, explaining what's been going on with North Korea and how North Korea, we've been giving them tech to do so, but at the same time claiming Kim is a madman, but we gave him the weapons. And the same with Iran. I think it's probably public knowledge at this point about Obama giving them tons and tons of money, and there's no guarantee that they're going to stop their nuclear program. And in more recent times, we see they're actually even threatening, with nuclear weapons, that type of thing. So you can kind of see Barack Obama giving them tons of money that they'll probably use for terrorism, and which we have seen in some cases even now that they're doing that. And Trump's trying to dismantle this deal.
Are we on a 40?
Yes.
All right. November 2nd, 2017, 4/10/20, ABCDE. He's basically saying that's Donald J. Trump.
'41, November 2nd, 2017. What a coincidence. The mountain that housed North Korea's nuclear weapons and testing collapsed. Unbelievable timing. I wonder if critical important materials as well as scientists, aka the bomb makers, were inside when it happened. Shocking. No global news agency suspects we had nothing to do with it.
Enjoy the crumbs. That's a great one. We serve at the pleasure of the president, DJT, which is 42, November 2nd, 2017. 43, November 2nd, 2017. These crumbs are not meant to scare anyone, but merely inform. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. The core focus is removing entrenched and fortified bad actors within our federal government, past and present, as well as others. Simply be diligent. Phone numbers will be provided if you witness an uprising or other domestic violence, in addition to 911. Any military scene is for your protection, as well as to demonstrate our resolve. Watch for confirmations tomorrow. 44, November 2nd, 2017. Before POTUS departs on Friday, he will be sending an important message via Twitter. God bless. 45, November 2nd, 2017. Follow Huma. What just broke with Huma? What did HRC instruct Huma to do regarding classified markings? Why is this story just now coming out? What relevance does it have? Why is Donna running for cover? Was a deal granted in exchange for something? Who made the deal? Do we care about Donna or those who instructed her to violate the law? Why is this being leaked? Verse simply prosecuted privately. Who has attempted to change the narrative and soften the acts that are forthcoming this weekend? This one I don't really 100% with the Donna thing and all that. No. I think Huma got a deal so she could raise her kid in exchange for ratting on Clinton, but we'll see. 46, November 2nd, 2017. Why is information regarding Barack Obama important regarding Uranium One and export approval to Canada to EU, Europe? Where is Barack Obama today? Did Barack Obama or his admin ever make false statements that Uranium One would never be exported from the USA? Who made those statements? Who did they report to? Why is this relevant? The public has been given a select taste, i.e. sampling. Rest assured, the others have it all 100% verifiable and impossible to refute. Why is this relevant? Who controls the narrative? Why are the left-wing organizations beginning to report on DNC and D corruption? the Democrats and Democrat National Committee. And does the CIA have operators inside the mainstream media? Of course. Operation Mockingbird. What happens if exposed? What happens if tied back as knowing to execs? What does this have to do with leaking? What it can be verified, no source stories made up, or in fact and approved to be published. The wormhole goes deep. Boom! God, I love this shit.
So what they're saying was uranium-1 illegal, and that basically was absolutely collusion at the highest level, and was the sitting president basically.
You cut out there, bro.
Oh.
You said sitting president?
Oops, one moment real quick. Go ahead, though.
All right, basically it's that it is treason. There's only so much uranium in the world, and essentially they sold it to North Korea, to Russia, to Iran, and it went through Canada. That was the first stop it made out of the country, and it was approved by Barack Obama. It was approved by Hillary Clinton, and she was one of the 9 people that voted on it, and it would only take 1 vote to stop it, but she didn't, of course. And then the other thing is, oh, shit.
So one of the things with that whole thing was that they basically used a bunch of shell companies, and basically at this time, Bill Clinton got paid for speeches in Russia to go do this. There was donations to the Clinton's Foundation, and then next thing you know, this deal that everybody said no, don't approve, suddenly got approved by Hillary once the money and everything was in the bag. And Obama knew about it and could have said something, but you know what? Obama possibly got some kickback, even though we didn't see that. And he was just like, all right, cool.
$100%. And also the CIA definitely has operators like Anderson Cooper and other people. And yes, they are 100%. Mika Brzezinski, yeah, she's part of it too. They are, from elite families, and they are basically the Gannett reading fake news.
And so,
yeah, they make up literally fake stories and report that without any trouble because of the Operation Mockingbird being re-signed into law in his presidency. All right, 47. You can paint the picture. I was November 2nd, 2017. You can paint the picture based solely on the questions asked. Be vigilant today and expect major false flag. Does anyone find it to be a coincidence? There's always a terrorist attack when bad news breaks for the D's. What is that called? Military relevant how? Barack Obama could not afford and would not allow the military to destroy ISIS. Why? How was ISIS formed? When? How was POTUS made such progress in the short time he's been president? Alice in Wonderland. So they're basically talking about the false flag. I don't think this was quite the Hawaiian crisis, but it was one of them. The Hawaiian missile crisis with the emergency sent to everybody. But yeah, as soon as there's always a false flag of some kind when bad news breaks for the Democrats. Intense. ISIS was formed by partially McStain and other people within our government. And I think it was in about 2012 or before that. Yeah. 2009, maybe? Shit. Bro, I gotta look up that shit again. But, so, 48. Oh, and because POTUS has actually been going after him. Barack Obama actually funded them. So that's why he's making such progress when nobody did before him.
So how was ISIS formed? A combination effort of the CIA, KSA, Qatar CIA assets, Al-Qaeda and related groups aided and abetted by Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, John McCain, as well as others in the U.S. government and other governments. When did this happen? Between 2004 and 2006, the establishment of the branch of Al-Qaeda in Iraq led by Abu Musab al-Zahiri and called Al-Qaeda in Mesopotamia in 2006 to 2011, establishment of the Islamic State in Iraq, ISIS, in 2012, June 2014, the strength of ISIS and the foundation of ISIS. How has POTUS made such progress in a short time? He's been president. POTUS had good people supporting him, and he's brilliant using intel to gather. Using intel gathered has made an actual effort to weaken and defeat ISIS rather than a token attempt to. Alice in Wonderland, Hillary Clinton, and Saudi Arabia. It is not coincidence that there's always a terrorist attack, as we covered, when there's bad news breaking for the Dems. I hope people start to get that and start realizing they never let any crisis go wasted. Whenever something really bad happens for them, or especially one of their key people, notice something bad happens to everybody else. There's a false flag. And then they will say, let us not, fall into conspiracy theory. And this is also why they want to control the media. If they can control the media, they can control, alternative news sources that would come out and say, hey, look, this is an issue. They want to quell that because this is stopping them from their ability to do false flags and get away with it without people questioning it. If you notice what happened with David Hobbs, first he came out and he was like, hey, look, everybody, I want to take your guns. I'm the kid. You can't make fun of me or say anything against me because I'm a victim. And so when people started pointing out inconsistencies, they made sure to ban it all throughout social media. And you kind of see this is exactly what's going on. And you notice the sheriff was good buddies with Hillary Clinton, Debbie Wasserman Schultz district, and all of these various different things.
Yes, boom.
Boom.
All right, so we're on 49.
Yep.
All right, November 2nd, 2017. Follow Senator Grassley. What is different effective this week? What do you notice? Why does Senator Grassley, one example, have a higher than normal amount of security detail? Why is Grassley and others held in a secure location? When did this start? What has been different this week? Uranium One FBI informant? Have secret sessions been underway? How could this be discovered? What must be reported, even if filed under state secrets? It's a name recognized around the world. Alice in Wonderland. Boom. Okay, one more, and then I guess we'll just wrap it up and we'll do the 50s. This has been going on a little while. November 2nd.
Okay, so what they wanted is they want to know the issues with Grassley. Grassley is presided over the Judicial Committee during the considered Antitrust, Anti-Relation Act of 2017, whistleblower protection for employees who provide information for the DOJ and antitrust. And basically, there was a whistleblower about all of this, and they basically gag ordered the whistleblower. And so in this, the whistleblower, the gag order was unlifted so that the whistleblower could testify against all of the people involved and who had a hand in it. Grassley is seeking the original format of Comey's draft remarks, including metadata to determine who is responsible for the edits of Comey's speech, not to indict Hillary. As what's well known now, basically, Comey came out with the speech telling that Hillary basically, her email contained a lot of classified threads, such and such, but the words were adjusted so that criminal charges couldn't be placed on Hillary. And this was done by, I forget who it was done by, but basically it was done for Comey and one or the other. McCabe was the person who did it. McCabe lessened the language so that Hillary could not be indicted. So, boom.
Boom. $50 will happen in a second, bro.
Okay, knocking out the last 150 here. Big drop. How did North Korea obtain uranium? How did Iran obtain uranium? Why did Barack Obama send billions in cash and wires to Iran? Why the cash component? Was the hostage component a cover for what? Could any of the cash components be handed off to other people? How many planes carried the cash into Iran? Did all land in Iran? Did all land in the same location? Why is this relevant? Who controls North Korea? Who really controls North Korea? Don't think of a single person. Think of a powerful entity. Why is this important? Are wars so important? Who benefits? What does hostage refer to? Who can be held hostage and controlled by North Korea having miniaturized nuclear weapons? Where is Barack Obama today? Where is BJ? Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so what this is implying is the Uranium One deal, mining in North Korea, its natural resources. North Korea enriches it themselves, unlike Iran. They don't have the people watching their moves on the ground. North Korea has been working with Pakistan on enrichment. How did Iran obtain uranium? Implies Uranium One deal. Why the cash component? So the money could never be traced. Was the hostage component a cover? Yes. What for? An excuse to send the money. So what you have here is you have Barack Obama coming up what he thought was a very clever excuse to loot the American taxpayer and send Iran billions of dollars, which in itself is treason. How many planes carry cash into Iran? And part of the whole thing of this was they did it in cash so that they could never trace it. And there was 2 deliveries. Where did the planes carrying cash depart from and land? Geneva, Switzerland. Did all land in Iran? Did all land in the same location? No. The money wasn't sent just one agent. Who controls North Korea? Kim Jong-un. Who really controls North Korea? The CIA, organizations and guidance departments of the North Korea's Workers' Party. The OGD is the crux of real and opposed symbolic dictator power in North Korea. So what they're telling us really here is that Kim Jong-il is a hostage of his country. He doesn't really control it. And what we have the CIA has infiltrated them long ago, and they use them as a puppet to basically try to incite war. So they're saying the CIA is behind North Korea's geopolitical actions. What does this have to do with North Korea? They receive money for their nuclear agenda from the payout. Why is this important? They're threatening people with war, so they try to destabilize the whole region. They get us to all buy in it and do what they say, blase, blase, but it's basically all a front by the CIA. And it's to cover up multiple crimes, make money, keep the public preoccupied, and rally when they want us to. Who benefits from this? The CIA and ruling political establishment. Whereas Barack Obama today is not known, but possibly in North Korea, referring to the other statement. The other thing was VJ, that's Valerie Jarrett, was with Michelle Obama in Las Vegas in 11/18. Alice in Wonderland, Hillary Clinton in Saudi Arabia. How did North Korea obtain the uranium and da-da-da? And we kind of already covered all of those. It was the Uranium One deal. And that's our boom for this one.
Boom, I think that's a wrap. That's the first 50Q posts. Pretty much decoded. Pretty much. Thank you for joining us on Conspiracy Fact with Ridiculous 13. Boom. Flex boom.